After some 25 years of traveling in Europe on trains as well as throughout many a city, from one extreme to another, I thought it'd be kind of fun to share some of my faves. Noting at first, eating on the trains, that the international train between Northern Ireland and Ireland is worth a note. But otherwise you get mostly snacks. Same is true in the UK with the noted high-end service, the Highlander, the Chieftain, and the Flying Scotsman. Otherwise, again, you get those English sandwiches. Norway, you do get a free meal in the cramped first class. It's a little lunchbox. In the case of Sweden, as well as in Spain, you pay substantially more for first class, which includes a meal, and I'm not sure it's worth it, and I think second class is just as fine. Germany, meal service is perfunctorily good, as one might expect. On the other hand, in France and Italy, their bistro cars at best are minimal. Nothing to speak of in terms of Belgium and the Netherlands, with the note of the high-priced Thalys international service. On the international service between France and Germany, their ICE trains do have a substantially expensive meal included with first class. I'd go second class. Sweden and Denmark offer free coffee in first class, with the Danish trains having just kind of snacks and so on. Of note are the old-timey trains of Poland, Czech Republic, and Croatia. Great meal service. I would not recommend the Romanian food service. Hungarian food service, laudable if you can be waited on. The service in the Austrian trains is well worth a try, and I'm really fond of their ginger ale called Amdudler. Let's start with some of the street foods from one end of Europe to the other. In the Netherlands, Amsterdam, they have many an automat food shop, many times with deep-fried croquettes. The one that I do like is about the size and the shape of a deck of cards, and it's called Bami, and it is spicy spaghetti but deep fried. It is very, very good. At the other extreme in Portugal, generally, but specifically at Roissio in the heart of Lisbon, great train connection with the local regional trains instead of the subways via Campolide or Benfica to Lisbon Oriente. And facing the central Roissio train station is a little shop, well known, serves bifana, a spicy, slow-cooked beef sandwich. Probably the most delicious thing you've ever had. Here at Heathrow, we're going to Piccadilly on the Piccadilly line, and we're going to be going up a block over to north and east to Compton. That's where the artsy-fartsy types are. We're going to the Balance, that's spelled with an S. By the way, if you want to go to Belfast, go down the hill, 2-3 from Belfast Central, and try the fish and chips. I'm here at the main train station in Barcelona, and right across there is Pans & Company. It's a fast food place in Spain. There's also one near the end of the main drag on the beach in Sitges, above the main train station in Madrid's Chamartín. That's the northern one. Nice thing about it, they serve the best chicken sandwich. Now, normally you'd say pollo in Spain, but here in Catalonia, you say pollastre. Here's another Pans & Company in Spain, this time on Paseo de Gracia in Barcelona next to the Gaudí Museum. And it's just on the other side of the metro stop, which, by the way, is also the Renfe stop for the local Cercanía trains. Watch it. The Renfe trains, the station says Adi. As we prepare to leave Barcelona here at Paseo de Gracias is the closest Renfe. Yes, the sign does say Adif, the administrative arm. The metro stop is at Plaza de Catalunya, which here on Paseo de Gracias eventually becomes the Ramblas, known for the obligatory overacting, non-acting statues, and of course Restaurant Row. Wait a minute, we do avoid Restaurant Row, but if you go all the way down, maybe 4 or 5 blocks from the harbor, On the left side, in a hidden court called Plaza Real, is a wonderful little area. I wonder if the Karma is still there, a rock and roll discotheque, and a good place to eat. Here's the menu on the French-Spanish international train, and there's my recommendation, the Croque Monsieur, a ham cheese sandwich. The pasta's not too bad, call it pâte en français, and here's some daily choices. Here at Paris's Gare de Lyon for Southeast trains, a place to eat is not outside, where you're generally disappointing as all train stations are, but inside at the restaurant Le Train Bleu, upstairs. Here in Paris with Gare de Lyon right here, and the Bastille up here, we're going to go all the way up to Rue Saint-Antoine from the Bastille, up to Rue Caronne. I'm here a block east of the Bastille at Faubourg Saint-Antoine and Rue de Charonne. And over here we have this very friendly little bar. Stop in for your free postcards, but wait, there's more. Well, we've gone a couple of steps down, and here we have Traiteur Asiatique. And I do like the Chinese food here in Paris or everywhere, but this one in particular has very fresh food. It's not too greasy, and I adore the nem. You know, they're kind of like egg rolls. Well, I'm eating my nem, and I'm here in front of Chez Paul at the corner of Charonne and Rapé. Watch this. This is L'Eau de Victoire, and this is Julien, mon bon frère. Here at Chez Paul, I do adore the souris d'agneau, the lamb, and the chèvre the cheese salad. Chez Paul at Paris. Say hello to Julien. A little bit further down on Rue Rapé is Relais du Massif Central. It refers to a central region in southern France. They have wonderful home-cooked meals. As we leave Paris's Gare de Lyon, at the bunkery places around there, you can see the Bastille in the background. I'm reminded of Montparnasse, the other station to the southwest, very similar, with the one great exception on the north side that's to the extreme left, exiting. Just right around the corner is a wonderful Alsatian restaurant. I'm here at Paris's Gare du Nord, and right there is the Quick. It's the French-Belgian version of McDonald's. They have such things as Béarnaise burgers. And of course, always nearby is McDonald's. I do note that in France, McDonald's does not use preservatives, or as they call them, conservateur, because the word preservative means condom. But here's the most pleasant surprise. Right over here is the Buffalo Grill. American theme. They have TV sets with cowboys chasing Indians all the time. And you even get a full, fresh glass of cold milk. I'm here at Lille Flanders, looking toward Lille Europe, the international high-speed station here in northern France. By the way, watch it. The Flemish Dutch call it Rijssel. And here's a shopping center. On the other side of that shopping center is a Quick hamburger. Here in Brussels, a block north of the Grand Place, this is Restaurant Row by day. I really have tried a number, and as always, Restaurant Row is, well, full of unctuous service, banal food, and especially if they have menus in multiple languages and probably multiple prices. Continuing on in Brussels, a block south now of the Grand Place, and here's the stock exchange called La Bourse, and the famous old-timey, stuffy, obligatory once Falstaff is right there, and that is an amazing little hamburger stand. Run by Albanians, they slice their hamburgers in half lengthwise. Great fries, great service. Oh, by the way, there on the left over is a Quick and another McDonald's.
So I'm here in Brussels' main train station called Midi or Sud, not the central station, by the way. And surprisingly, outside there's negligible food service. Inside we have the notoriously bad spaghetto pizza, and of course there's the quick. But I got good news. We're going to go that way. Well, we've come all the way from way down there, all the way to the other end, and this little one, notice it's not in the food court, so that probably says something. They'll make your sandwiches to order instead of stale and old and attitude. I'm looking at the menu on the high-speed German ICE trains, and the cheese, ham, toasted sandwich is good. That's a Schinken Käse baguette. Also, they have Flammekuchen. That's a tart flambe, which is delicious from the Alsace. We're here in Germany in Cologne, if you will. And if you go straight out toward the cathedral on the left-hand side, you will find a McDonald's. We're going to be doing the downtown Heumarkt, not Neumarkt, when we come back. And it should be noted that in Germany, in most train stations, you will have such choices as Pizza Hut. Now, don't knock that Pizza Hut. They sell by the slice. It's always fresh. And they have a daily promotion. And watch out, you've been warned, don't try those oval-shaped things that look like pizza, especially if they're not even made by Germans. The German ones are bad enough. Throughout Germany, except in train stations, you'll find a doner kebab, which means to rotate, hence the word gyro or gyro in Greek similarly. And, you know, it's okay if you're drunk, and they are open late in the morning. But, you know, it does get stuck in your teeth. I much prefer the schnitzel. Fast, friendly, fresh, and put in a little Turkish green sauce and the Schweibel, the onions, yummy. But the one I'm pointing out here, which is in Mühlendorfer Platz, notice the name has even been changed and run by a couple of offspring of a scolding woman standing in the corner, not saying anything. Cheap. Not very tasty. Something to avoid. It's one of the problems they're facing in London, if you catch my drift, in terms of the takeover and investment in fish and chips places. Here in Berlin, Hauptbahnhof, the relatively new main train station, probably has more amenities than the other in Europe, if not the world. Look, all the floors. If you can't find it here, you can't find it anywhere. I'm purposely taking the Czech train to Hamburg, running, maybe 2, 3, 7 minutes slower than the regular service, so I can sample the Czech meal. Highly recommended is the onion soup. Notice it's not in English. Look for Zwiebel. And here we are. As we're here in Hamburg watching the third-generation diesel version of the Danish service going to Copenhagen, it is one of the 2 boat trains in Europe, each an hour crossing from Kaisa to Denmark via Puttgarden and Rudby. And don't eat on the train, or even if it is the Danish service. Try instead to get on the boat where they get a nice fish and chips. The other 1-hour boat train in Europe is between the boot of Italy and Sicily. There, try the arancini, the rosetto rice balls. We'll do more of that when we get to Italy. We're here on the east side of the Hamburg main Hauptbahnhof. The west side has the shopping district. And if you will, on the far right side over there, that's the Arab street with the kebabs. If you take the next street down, facing straight out from the east side of the station, it is without exaggeration the drunk, druggy, whore, prostitute street. You've been warned. This one's just a back alley. And, over here, this is the one we're looking for. This is called Langerei. This street has great little restaurants, not a restaurant row, great little bars. We're going to visit that. Well, we've come down from the east side of Hamburg's main train station, the left bookend street, Langerei. You'll even see it here on this apothecary. We're going to go down on the left here to a little Portuguese restaurant and do something special. Well, we've come down 2 more blocks, and here's Vasco da Gama, Portuguese. They serve a wonderful little Portuguese liqueur called Liqueur de Barão. Very tasty. Order with ice. It's only available normally in Portugal, but it's a Portuguese restaurant. Liqueur de Barão. The liquor of the Baron. The slightly herbal taste, unique. A couple of doors down is La Famille here on the Longer Way in Hamburg. It's a French theme, but they don't speak French. Run by some very stern women, even by German standards. They make the best ham and cheese baguette sandwich. It's made meticulously. You will have to wait. Well worth the wait. So here on the German train, we're going to try the Flammekuchen from the Alsace, a tart flambé. To be advised, it's only available in the bistro, not the restaurant. So I'm trying the German Flammekuchen, what the French call the tart flambé, and do notice it comes either in one portion or two portions. Well, we're back in Cologne, and there's the train station, and there's the big old cathedral. We'll be going inside. And notice here at the train station, we'll be going down to Heumarkt, not to be confused with Neumarkt. And we should note that here in the square, where the party action is, a lot of restaurant rows. I don't recommend them. One of them made me sick. The other was terrible service. The formerly recommended little old lady with the backfish and the happy little fish. Sorry, it's gone. Now, the kebab place that I do recommend for the schnitzel, right around the corner. Delicious. I'm in Brussels Nord, where they've reinstated the intercity train to Amsterdam, connecting to the reservation-free German ICE train, unlike the more expensive Thalys, which also does not connect here. I should note that in Brussels Nord, there is negligible food service. There is a tasty little hamburger stand inside, as well as a quick. We're in front of the grand station of Antwerp and Anvers, and we could get coffee in the morning in the little tiny cup that tastes like radiator fluid, or the Starbucks, or the hasty little restaurant with service to match. But wait a minute, look, right over there, just right around the corner, wonderful place for morning coffee and a sandwich. But I should update that the former rule about not going to the first two hotels now has been reinstated. The Florida used to be right there. It's been renovated, or at least they thought they did. Ruined the breakfast, overpriced, really hostile service. We're going to go down that way. Oh, there is Restaurant Row. The pizza place, the first one in the sequence of the really kind of annoying restaurants, isn't even Italian. It's run by Indians. We're going to go farther down that way, a couple of blocks, one of my favorites in all of Europe. We've come down from the main train station here in Antwerp, and of course past the Quick, and we'd be passing the McDonald's going a little bit further that way. We've come down another old 5-odd blocks with the Slide Dog Leg, and over here, Modern Art Museum, not to be confused with the Antwerp Royal Fine Arts Museum, where all the Flemish painter is, the Koninklijke Kunsthandwerkersmuseum, and look, right there. Now, they don't have it in the winter, but in the summer they have a wonderful outdoor eating cafe. We're going to go to a place called The Bistro. So we've come over, and there's the museum. Here's where they eat in the summer, and there is the bistro. So the drink of choice, of course, is a Jonge Neighbor met IJs, and I'm doing their spaghetti with the slaw. Yummy. So I'm outside the main train station here in Antwerp, and I'm at that happy little coffee sandwich shop that I told you about. And if they're doing so well, they've made it into two sections. Coffee, croissants, sandwiches. As we leave Brussels going to Cologne, I'm reminded that there's been some legal action against, well, some aggressive young Arabs. I've encountered it myself a couple of times, and a little bit of Arabic sure did help the situation, such as Mbappé, pardon me, or Afwan, you're welcome.
Hallo, je moet aan telefoon bitte. Tickets, please.
As we enter Mannheim, it's recommended to avoid the three places closest to the station. Went from bad to worse to frankly sickening. Instead, recommended is go to the basement to the sandwich shop. Yummy. As we come into Stuttgart, an alternative choice to say Munich with its own regional character, I must report that in Munich that the favorite of mine, the Lamb's Wiener Schnitzel at Zindlinger has been closed. Stuttgart is just recently renovated, gutted. We're going to find out what's new here in just a moment. In Stuttgart, train station being here, along Königsstrasse, big park, covered galleria, right in the middle, up a couple of stairs, pizza, but not Pizza Hut. By the slice, some of the best I've ever had.
Well, we're inside the Stuttgart train station where they didn't change anything, and as always in German train stations, you have a Burger King and a Pizza Hut and a McDonald's. This is former Cisalpino service, now Eurocity service, from the Swiss cities of Zurich, Sligo, Basel, Basilea, and Geneva, Genève, Ghent, with an excellent meal service. Regarding Geneva, I agree with Rick Steves, avoid it. As far as Zurich is concerned, you want to go right across the little bridge from the train station, not Restaurant Row, kind of price to move, but still a lot of choices.
I've chosen the beef stroganoff with spätzle. It's a Swiss dumpling, and watch it, the menu is only in French, German, and Italian.
In the madhouse here of Milan, has a renovated second mezzanine with McDonald's. But look at this. We have arancini, a specialty from Sicily. Make sure you get one. It means a little orange, but has nothing to do with the flavor. It has to do with the way it looks. It's a risotto rice ball, deep fried, has usually meat and some ragu, sometimes cheese. Make sure you try one, if not a couple.
In the Italian high-speed train, the Fleccia Rossa, the red arrow, not to be confused with the silver Argenta or the white Bianca, they serve in first class a complimentary small beer, Coca-Cola, even Prosecco, a champagne-like drink, and maybe some old crackers. Better be ready to order. They're fast. There's also a little bistro minibar in the middle of the train. I wouldn't recommend it.
In Bologna, Italy, the main Centrale train station right over here, surprisingly very little is open late at night. And of course you got a McDonald's, and it even serves pizza. But look, over here, we have Pizza Allegre, a wonderful, amazing Sicilian rice balls. Yes, they have arancini. Well, if you look a little bit, you can probably figure out where we are. Yes, that's the copy of the statue of David. We're in Florence, Firenze, at the Piazza del Signoria. And, you know, let's see, this one over here, twice the price with twice the attitude, very hissy. This one was kind of banal. Remember what I said about Restaurant Row? Perfect example, and probably obvious why in this tourist trap. Never go to the ones where they're outside hawking the menu, especially if they're in foreign languages. This one actually was openly hostile when I was interested in what I wanted. This one was banal. Wait a minute, don't give up. We're going to go to that little alley right down there on the left, not the one on the right. That'll really surprise you. Well, we went down, as I said, to the little alley on the left, and we've come to Buco Poldo. Best kept secret. Highly rated, I'll agree with it, and it's open only for lunch and dinner starting at 7. Let's go in. This time I'm trying the rabbit and chicken, coniglio e pollo. I'm here at Rome's main train station, Termini, not to be confused with Tiburtina, and you got a McDonald's over here, like exiting on the left side, and you do have to pay first. Do take the receipt; it's a law. And we'll get some pizza here. They sell it by the measured slice. You specify the size. They get upset if you make it a little bit too small. I have a preference for something that seems to be unique here: green olive pizza. I'm again taking the Eurocity train from Milano to Basel, Basilea, not only for the great meal service, but because it provides a greater connection now with the high-speed Lordsburg Tunnel open and the new secondary portion of the French high-speed network now making a better connection to Paris, Lyon, should I Paris left.
And by the way, it'll save you up to $100 in those obnoxiously high, even higher supplements that are now required for connections between direct trains from France and Italy. This time I'm trying the penne bolognese. Here in Basel-Ball, while not shown immediately on the board, do look for services going to Germany via one of two routes. The ICEs often going via the Frankfurt Flughafen Airport, but not always, and the inner city or the Euro city especially via Koblenz. With the latter, a little bit longer, a lot prettier with all those castles, and with a more leisurely meal service. The Euro cities will have even better meals. We're in Strasbourg, France, and we're here at the train station, and we're going to go over to the great cathedral on Rue Marocain. And we're going to look for a place called the Old Strasbourg, the Vieux Strasbourg. We're here in Strasbourg, a block west and south of the cathedral on Rue du Marocain. And we're coming into the Vieux Strasbourg for some really good tarte flambée. This is tarte flambée with lardon, little pieces of ham and onion. And of course my l'eau de vie poire. Here in quaint Colmar, France, at Place Ancienne Douane, the old tax house, right about here we have Lorber. They serve a quiche pizza tarte flambée. I used to make a joke that it was French pizza. Turns out they actually serve one. Tasty. We're here at the gastronomic capital of France, Lyon. At the through main train station Pardieu, there is a second one, Parache, where trains terminate and originate. And interestingly, there's only one restaurant there, and it's a long walk across the park. Well, as I've always noted, the good ones never are quite obvious. Let's go around the corner right over there. Well, we've come around the corner, and here's two brasseries. That's kind of a sandwich shop with drinks. You can also think about getting what I like is a baguette. That means stick, long loaf of bread. And you have sandwiches, of the ham. And what I like, pâté de campagne. Not pâté de canard, whack, whack, poor little ducky. Or foie gras. I like pâté de campagne. It's a more rustic kind. Add it with cornichons, sweet pickles. Yummy. I'm here in Montpellier, France. That's the one spelled with two L's. It's a student town, and we're in front of the train station. And we're going to go up this way. First to Place Comédie. Yes, it does have a set of restaurant row. And you'll find a McDonald's on the left, as well as across from the station, and a Quick on the right. But we're going to go further up the hill to a little place where there's about, 5-6 bars, restaurants all camped together. Students love to party there. It's overpriced. But wait, there's more. We've come twice again as far from Place Comédie to, as I told you, Party Central. And the killer new place is actually one more block up to the right, Marche aux Fleurs. But here's the surprise. Right over there, dog leg, left and a right, little tiny corner, beautiful little fountain, La Place. Here's what the review said, here's what I agree. They have lousy food, but a beautiful ambience, great service. Go there just for a drink. It's called La Place. This is one of my favorites, chèvre chaud. That's a hot goat cheese salad. Yummy. Delicious. I'm here in the heart of Madrid in the artsy area near Chueca, the metro stop, blocks south and west on Calle Augusto Figueroa. Down there is the bar Nike, which regretfully seems to have closed. They made the best bocadilla tortilla. That's a sandwich omelet, potato style. Oh, wait, there's more. Here's Il Siciliano. It makes a great arancini. And there happens to be another one right around the corner on the left. I'm here at Pans & Company on the upper level above the northern main Madrid train station, Chamartin, and I'm ordering the chicken, better as pachuga. Here's a bocadilla tortilla. I'm here in Vigo, Galicia, Spain, one of my fave towns, not as many tourists, and we're on the main drag, that's Rosalio de Castro, about 4 or 5 blocks up from the new train station at the corner of Rua Oporto. I love this bar. It's kind of a tapas bar, but at the same token, it's free, great drinks, great people. It's called La Porchava. Mi ultima pachuga de Pans and Company.